for the backgrounds of the teachers.
Okay, parents, let's get started. My name is Tashvika Augustine. Thank you so much for joining our open day today. We are very excited to meet all of you and all of your kids, and very excited to show you a little bit about what Campus of Things has to offer.
Let's go.
So before we get started, just some housekeeping rules. We are on Microsoft Teams, so if I can ask everyone to just keep themselves muted. We are going to be having a session for questions and stuff later on within the open day. So once it is time for that, then I will let you guys know, and then feel free to raise your hands and ask as many questions as you want so that we can give you the most clarity possible. Just to quickly take you through our agenda for today, we will be doing a little welcome and history about what Campus of Things is. And once that is done, we'll introduce you to something that we call Blink, which is our communication app. We will do a quick game, just a little icebreaker for all of our parents and students, and then a quick tech session so you guys get to see the portal. We've got our amazing teachers on standby here today to do some demo lessons for you guys, so you can see what an everyday class looks like. We'll then take about a 15-minute break so you can grab some coffee or snacks or water, whatever it is. And then when we come back, you'll be meeting our head of school, Yolandi Geldenhuys. We'll play another little game, and then we will jump into the question and answer section. This will all be academic related and will be split into our different phases, starting at foundation phase all the way up to FET phase. Once that is done, we'll do another quick little game for you guys, and then we will move into the admissions questions. And then, yeah, that's our program for today. So we are pretty excited for it. Okay, so just to introduce you to what Campus of Things is we are an online school. We are Sakai accredited, and we provide online education from grades R up until matric. We are fully CAPS aligned, so everything that we are teaching you is the same curriculum that pretty much the rest of the schools in South Africa follow. We've just found a way to teach it to you in a way that your children will access it better and a little bit more engaging, so that they can enjoy their educational journey and not have to stress too much. We provide 100% live classes, so there's real support. You might think that because it's online, it's a whole bunch of like YouTube videos and stuff like that. No, not at all. So all of our lessons are 100% live, taught by SACE registered subject matter expert teachers. So they engage with your kids. They play games with your kids. Your kids get to engage with their peers in the class as well. So that's pretty much what Campus of Things is about. We have taken education and made it a little bit more accessible. So it doesn't matter where you are or, you know, what you're doing. If you've got a busy schedule, if you want a little bit more structure, we accommodate all of our learners. And yeah, that's pretty much what Campus of Things is about. Okay, so just to take you into the history of Campus of Things, Campus of Things was founded by Atul Kumar Patel. He is our CEO and founder, alongside his two kids, Simran and Rahil Patel. So they all manage the business for us. And basically, Atul saw a need with his own kids when they were in school, and the various gaps in education, and he decided to revolutionize this and change the face of education as we know it, so that it's more accessible for every single learner. But not only that, you will notice that not every child learns the same. And so we've adapted our way of thinking to better suit the child and their needs, so that everyone feels included. So that's where Campus of Things started. Okay, we are running an incredible Black Friday special. So if you would like to take advantage of this, you can scan the little QR code that's at the bottom of the screen. It will take you to our landing page on the website where you can register for the Black Friday promotion. And that is currently running at the moment up until the 30th of November. So parents, please feel free to take advantage of this incredible deal.
Okay. Sorry. Good morning. Can everybody still hear me? Okay, I'm going to take the silence as a no. So I just want to just double check. Okay, cool. My mic is on. Right, guys. So my name is Liesel de Vos. I'm sort of in charge of ICT. Right, so Blink is our family-friendly communications app. It has been designed by Campus of Things. We actually use it for school communications. So the whole idea behind Blink is that it connects the parents and the learners, and it also has got educational content on it. It's got all the new information that you need in terms of the EdTech community. It's an interactive information space where essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach kids how to use social media ethically, but also keep parents in the loop as to what is going on in the school. You can see it is just basically where the kids can interact with their teachers. So here's an example of a post that one of our teachers have made, or actually one of the learners have made, where we're interacting with the child. And it's also just basically if there is something to do with your homeroom, or whatever, like a new timetable came out, here's the matric, timetable for writing exams. It all goes onto Blink. Past papers are provided on Blink. Any extra resources. It helps parents have an understanding of the actual subject so that parents can assist their children in the learning process alongside us. And also it is a place where learners can actually open up discussions to talk about whatever it is that they need. So aside from the homeroom, there's actually a group for, like, let's say they are doing consumer studies. So then they would have, for consumer studies, a group where they can go and have forums and discussions about stuff. And teachers would obviously share updates, resources, any announcements. It's instant. And there's also just like a little ranking system. It is monitored, so obviously you don't want like kids going rampant on social media. Your teachers are constantly moderating what they are putting on the social media so that there's no funny stuff that you don't want your kids to see. Yeah, so it's there for communication, collaboration, and obviously growth for the children. And what's great about it is it is free. It is free forever. It comes with the license that your child will get when they like log, or when you guys sign up with us, they get it for free. You, the parent, gets it for free, and actually anyone will be able to eventually log on. There we go. I'm going to throw over to Anne, and she's going to do a icebreaker for us.
Good morning, everyone. So we're going to play a quick game, Caption That Moment. I'm going to flash a photo and you have to write a funny caption. The teachers can join as well. I'll give you a minute or so and then we will vote for the best caption. Okay. You can start writing captions in the comments. The winner do win bragging rights. Unfortunately, that's all. I'm going to give like a minute or so. So a few comments. Ooh, thank you, Renus. Is there a bit for me left as well? I'm gonna give like half a minute for some other ideas for cool captions. I think most of us won't be too glad to come home to this. Call the grandmother. That one is perfect. Okay, you guys, we only have 4 captions, but you can go quickly and then just like the comment that you like the most. That's the funniest, and that one will win. Okay, then we will have our last photo, and this will be the one with the teenager in the messy room. Can you guys maybe get a few captions for that as well? A lot of people do say when you're messy, you're actually very clever. Ooh, I love the captions. And obstacle course. Oh, Bianca, I love that one. Okay, you guys, maybe you can just go and vote for the ones you like the most, and then we will have a winner. The first one, I do see that Vicky got the most votes. Is this a consumer studies practical? I love that one. So Vicky, you win bragging rights with the first one, and then the second one, I think Bianca win. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Bianca. I am going to be throwing it over to you now to give us a little bit of a portal demo and the tech session.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So just a quick run through on what our portal looks like, what you guys will be working on a daily. Just while it's still loading, we don't have electricity, so I apologize if I'm a bit slow. We do require, our system requirements is at least i5 and 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, so while my portal eventually loaded, you will see that you open on the dashboard. So this is where you're going to see how many classes you have or your courses that you enrolled in and how many activities is actually completed. So in class, we as teachers gives you, as the students, certain amounts of activities, and there you can see how many you've done and how many you still have to do. You also have a little bit of a calendar so that you can keep track on when your exam papers are due, when your tasks is due. We have a ranking system, so the more tasks you submit, the more activities you do in class, the better your score gets. So the student is at the most that we can get. So just to go to our courses quickly. if it opens or when it opens all of your classes in the same place. So let's say, for instance, your timetable says that you have creative arts now. You go into your creative arts and you work with your teacher on that portal. Just to give you an example of what it looks like. So we have something called H5P books, which is our textbooks that we use to study or to give you the work that you have been doing. And then we also have an assessment side of it, as well as a support zone. So in your support zone is where you are going to find all of the extra resources that we as teachers put out for you. Just to give you a quick idea of what it looks like. Okay, this one doesn't. Your H5P books opens up to there. And also the teacher will tell you exactly. So if it is a language, you will have your different sections and you will get your notice of what you are doing. So this is what our portal looks like. You will see that there is activities and each one of them, and the students must finish, submit at the end of it. Yeah. Everyone good? Good. Okay. Slide.
Okay, Flight die storie is uit daar. So that was Bianca with our portal demo. We have got our demo lessons now. So our first teacher who is going to do a lesson is Hein. He is our maths FET teacher. And he says, or he believes, my classroom is a place of I'm so nervous I can't speak. My classroom is a place of rigorous expectation, relentless encouragement, and deep engagement. Okay, Mr. Viljoen, can you please take over from me?
Good day, everyone. So I'm the mathematics teacher for FET and for senior phase. So I'll be teaching from grade 8 to grade 12 mathematics. So generally, math is seen as this difficult subject. Okay? Most people see it as that. But I've got quite a different perspective on it. I believe math should be fun and engaging. So below here is an example of how the slides look for mathematics. So for instance, as you can see, today we're going to talk about functions. Now, a function in general terms is basically somebody decided in history, you know what, let's give an algebraic expression a picture, and that's how functions were born. That's the history behind it. Because throughout history, people, if you look at the first cavemen, we communicated in pictures. So pictures are just more universally understood. So if we look at, for instance, a linear function, so usually a linear function has the formula of y is equal to mx plus c. M is our gradient or slope. Okay, usually the formula for the gradient is defined as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the formula for gradient. So, okay, I'm just going to jump the gun a bit, and c is the constant. Okay, now, generally, a linear function is a normal number pattern. Let's imagine a number pattern with 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Now, usually the rule for a number pattern is, so this is our term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5. Okay, so this is our, if you put this in the input and output table, so x and y, then that's going to be 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6. So initially, now, if we were to define this as a function, we need to find the formula. So the first step when doing this is that you need to find your gradient. So you can take any two coordinate points. So I'm going to take 1 and 2 and 2 and 4. So A is 1 and 2, and then B is 2 and 4. Then I'm going to do the following. So y is equal, so our gradient of AB is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, all that you need to do is substitute your coordinates in. So, make your life easier, label them. Okay, once you've labeled them, it's just a matter of substitution. So 4 minus 2, and that would be 2 minus 1. So initially, 4 minus 2 is 2, so we've got a gradient of 2 in this case. Okay, any questions? Usually I ask that to all my students after explaining something. Is everybody still here with me? Does everybody understand what's happening? Or have I lost everyone? Okay, so that's 2. Then your final step for defining your formula, you substitute the gradient into the formula, and then you substitute any set of coordinates. I'm going to take 2 and 4, for example. So then it's going to be 4 is equal to 2 times 2 plus c. So then 2 times 2 is 4 plus c, and then that's 4. So then our c value would equal to 0. Therefore, my formula is y is equal to 2x, and that would define my straight line function. Now, if we need to draw it, it's very simple. It's very easy. Okay, there's your x-axis. Okay, students always need to indicate this. It's very important. And there's your y-axis. Now, the easiest way to draw this function would be to start with the x or y intercept. So, for instance, let's say we're doing the x-intercept now. Let y be 0. So you're going to take your formula, y is equal to 2x. Then you're going to substitute in the 0 into the place of the x. Then y is equal to 0. So we know that this function passes through the origin point of our Cartesian plane. Okay, that's our x-intercept. Then for the y-intercept, let x be 0. So now my x-intercept, let x be 0. So initially when we do this, so y is equal to 2 multiplied by 0, so then y is equal to 0 as well. So this function will go through my straight line at that point. So initially with this type of function, it will be something as such. And there's your function. Okay, this is a normal linear pattern. Okay, any questions? No questions?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Phil Yoon. Right, I'm going to be pushing over to Mr. Rinus Miller, and he is the Afrikaans teacher and the drama teacher, and it's Afrikaans and drama, hey sir? For grade 7 to 9.
Grade 7 to 9, yes.
Okay.
Good morning, parents and prospective learners. So in my 5 or 6 years of teaching Afrikaans, specifically FAL, and I've taught both home language and FAL, I've noticed a marked difference. It is hardly possible for a learner to get into Afrikaans as an academic subject unless the teacher provides the child with opportunity to try and learn the language. And in normal schools, I found that hardly ever happens anymore. I'm from the older generation, so I know how I was taught back in primary school by my teachers, and they were quite subsequent with what they, or consistent with what they did. And so I've chosen this little exercise that you can see on my screen now. This lady, just by the by, speaks 11 languages. Most of my Afrikaans classes are done in English because most of my learners are English. And I cannot switch over just to Afrikaans because I'll lose half of my learners. So what I consider this little video exercise is a model of what I do in my classes. My entire curriculum is set up this way. So I'm just going to run you through it and explain as we go.
Many people think that if they are not good at learning languages, if they have not succeeded for many years, it is because they don't have a good memory. And their memory is just not good enough to remember all those words, or they don't have the right memory techniques, etc. But actually,
All right. So up here, we have a little thingy. Now, it's important to me that my learners hear Afrikaans as well, because I speak a lot of English, but they do need to hear the language. Otherwise, they don't link what the language looks like on paper to what it sounds like. And if that link doesn't happen, then they simply don't learn it. So it's imperative that I do this. Baie mense dink dat as hulle nie goed is met die aanleer van tale nie, as hulle vir baie jare nie daarin geslaag het nie, dat dit is omdat hulle nie 'n goeie geheue het nie en hul geheue net nie goed genoeg is om al daardie woorde te onthou nie, of dat hulle nie die regte geheue tegnieke het nie, en so voorts. Sorry if the sound is a little soft. I'll just tell you what was said there. I basically gave an Afrikaans reading of what she just said. And what she just said is transcribed over here. And the instruction now was to my learners to listen. Remember, most of them have little earphones in it also. Was to now compare the English text to the Afrikaans text. And I'm working on what the brain does. So in that little piece, they would have heard the word memory twice, but they would also have heard the word memory techniques, right? So now I'm asking them, click on the text at the bottom here, on the two words, when you see geheue. Now they're going to compare these two texts, and it's quite, even if they only focus on what memory, the recurrence of memory, they know it's twice, so they can look for a word that is twice, right? But now all of a sudden, this one over here, geheue tegnieke, looks very different to memory techniques, because in Afrikaans we use those as compounds, which is imperative also because it often confuses learners and the meaning of the text if they don't recognize this kind of stuff. Now, obviously, that little whole thingy as a language and conventions is taught separately, but it's important that I keep repeating the same thing over and over. Right? And that's just, but they'll do exercises like this all the time. So now we've learned the word geheue and geheue tegnieke based on comparing two levels of text.
Actually, I believe this has not so much to do with the memory, but rather with the way how we encounter these words and how frequently we encounter them.
Right, so what she's saying is what we're basically doing with this thing. I'm just going to play this again because it says they luister na die Afrikaans. Maar eintlik glo ek dat dit nie soveel te doen het met die geheue nie, maar eerder met die manier waarop ons hierdie woorde teekom en hoe gereeld ons hulle teekom. All right, so now we need to focus on the word encounter, which is pretty much what this exercise is about. We see the word encounter there, we see the word encounter there. So again, I'm looking for a word that is twice, that generally fits into that sentence structure. We've done geheue already, so it's not that one. Teekom, teekom. There we go. Check. Yes, I'm right. Let's move on.
The thing is, when I learn some new words, I don't have any special way how I see the word once and then I would remember it forever. I mean, my memory doesn't work like that, for sure. But what I do is I make sure that I see this word many times, as often as possible, in various contexts, in a natural way.
All right, so by now you will have picked up that I've been doing exactly what she suggests. We've isolated words in both English and Afrikaans, and now we're going to use. We've already done that by using them in different contexts and seeing them in different formations and morphologies. And so now what I want to do is kyk na die twee mense aan die regterkant, maar onthou om aan te hou luister, because there's some people moving on the right-hand side. And this is very important for visual literacy as well. But they must now also remember to listen. And both their working memory channels are activated by doing this. Right? So now they're just going to focus on that.
Because I read text, I listen to text, etc. And they just repeat themselves on and on until my brain gets it and remembers these words long term. The good news is that in most of the texts that we read or listen to or just encounter in our...
Boom. All right, so now there's a jogger that entered over here. By now you'll see I don't give the instruction listen, because they know. This is now already a habit that's formed, and I do that in the course as well. in all sorts of different ways. Die drawer sal binnekort die twee mense wat onder die boom loop, geheue of teekom. Okay, so now we've got the two words that they've learned up until now, and by given the what is meant, so now semantics comes into it. Geheue is obviously not going to work there, so it must be teekom. Okay, next one.
Everyday life. 85% of the words which are used there are built by the 2,000 most frequent words used in that language, which is great news because if you learn those 2,000 words, then you understand 85% of text. And that also means that if you keep reading everyday texts which are available in magazines, newspapers, books, blogs, etc., you will definitely see those 2,000 most frequent words on and on again, right? And I believe
I can also assume that since I've given them the instruction earlier to keep looking at what's happening, that they will keep doing that now anyway, right? While they're listening to what this lady has to say about learning languages. All right, we're going to listen again. Well, we don't have to. Basically, what I'm going to read there is this Afrikaans sentence over here. But now we're elevating the exercise a little, and this is called staggering in Levi-Gottsky learning theory. So I'm not giving them the options anymore. We've encountered the word enough times already to know what it is, hopefully by now. And so now we need to go fill it in. The English sentence is, the two people with a baby pram will never encounter the jogger. They are walking too slowly. The baby in the pram's memory is better than what we might think. Babies remember everything. This word is important because it's a semantic field word. It is linked to memory. Although it's not the same word, and semantic fields are very, very interesting stuff. Right, so, die twee mense met die baba stootwaantjie sal nooit die drawer wat nie. Answers in the chat box, please. Teekom of geheue? Tik, 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 tik. Teekom. Mooi, there we go. Sal nooit die drawer teekom nie. You will never encounter the jogger because he's too slow. But die baba in die stootwaantjie se wat is beter as wat ons dink. Geheue, onthou of teekom. Die baba in die stootwaantjie se assy. Mooi, Yvette. Geheue is beter as wat ons dink. Babas onthou
this is really the
alles.
best way how to learn the language. Because when you see it in this sentence and in that sentence and in that sentence, your brain puts it all together and understands how to use that word and can put it into the long-term memory.
All right, now there she's used another word. I'm not going to go through all of this. I don't have much more time than that because this information is just to explain what the infinitive is in Afrikaans and what separable verbs are. But and I need to do this because sometimes I get a learner who didn't cover the work earlier in the year, so I need to make sure that if I introduce something like this, the learner sees it now, he has the opportunity to do it. Some guys are going to skip right past all of that stuff and maybe get it wrong. In which case, but sir, I don't understand. I might say, yeah, but remember all that stuff I gave you to read. It's important. Go read and try again and let me know if you still struggle. Then I'll help you. No, because we can't baby the kids. So, to encounter the same words repeatedly in different contexts will store it to your long-term memory. Om dieselfde woorde herhaaldelik in verskillende kontekste. Now look what happens here now. Because we've got the infinitive, so the infinitive often splits the words in Afrikaans. We saw teekom earlier as that, but in Afrikaans it changes. And I need the learner to struggle with this a little. Otherwise, we just read stuff and we don't take it in. So I need the learner to struggle with this stuff. So I'm giving the opportunity to do that now with this. Kontekste tee, te, kom, sal dit in jou langtermyn geheue. And remember, geheue was part of another word earlier. Now it's part of a new word. So it's another different compound. So now in this small little lesson, I've taught the word 5 different things already, just new words, but also all the theory and everything that goes with that, which is implicit. It's not necessarily explicitly taught.
So if you also think that you don't have a memory for learning vocabulary or something, don't worry too much about it. Instead, try to think of ways how to encounter these words more often, more frequently, in a systematic way, and you will see that in the long term, you will be able to understand these words and to remember them much better.
All right. And then usually a little exercise like this ends with a quick statement question where they have to choose the correct statement. Sir just gives me random things to do. Sir gives me ways in which to practice what this lady is talking about. Ta-da! And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the end of my little demo.
Thank you so much, sir. That was so cool. So that was
Pleasure.
Mr. Rinus Miller. And as you can see, this is what our H5P books look like and how the kids would interact. Thank you to Angela Nevet, who also went and interacted in there. But now we have a little bit of a challenge for us. We've got Miss Zamasa Mbochwa, who is going to be teaching us a little bit of isiZulu. Kunjani.
Sanibonani, ngiyathemba niyaphila. Mina nguMiss Zamasa, ngifundisa isiZulu kusukela kwibanga lesi-9 ukuya ku-grade 12. So ngizobe simfundisa-ke. Namhlanje ngizonibonisa nje ukuthi ilesson lesiZulu lima kanjani. Njengoba sesiyibonile-ke i-portal ukuthi isebenza kanjani. So sibona-ke incwadi yobungani ukuthi siyibhala kanjani incwadi yobungani. Okokuqala nje incwadi yobungani yileyo esike siyibhalela umuntu esimaziyo. Okay, yes, siyibhalela umuntu esimaziyo noma esondelene naye. Ukuze nje sibe ne-introduction noma isisekelo sencwadi yethu, siqala nje kwi-portal sibe nemibuzo nje emincane esibonisayo ukuthi-ke ikuphi esikwaziyo noma ikuphi esizokufunda. Mhlawumbe angazi noma bakhona yini abazothanda ukuthi baparticipate kule quiz lena. Sinombuzo nje wokuqala ukuthi incwadi yobungani inamakheli amangaki. Khona ongathanda ukuzama? Iba nekheli elilodwa, amabili noma amathathu. Okay, so Miss Sandy.
Ikheli elilodwa, ma'am.
Yes, ikheli elilodwa. Very good. Sizobheka lana sithole ukuthi yes, wenze kahle nekheli elilodwa. Umbuzo olandelayo, isibingelelo kufanele sikhombise lena-ke i-fill in the missing word. Mase siyibhala isibingelelo sethu. Miss Juliet. Muted.
Oh, kumele sikhombise igama lalowo mbhalelayo.
Yes, kumele sikhombise igama. Very good. So ngaleyo ndlela sibonisa ukuthi sinobuhlobo angithi. Yeah, so ubhalisa igama lakhe ngoba sinobuhlobo nalo muntu esimaziyo. Then-ke izoba right kanjalo. So-ke ilokho esobe sikwenza-ke uma senza incwadi yobungani. Sibheke-ke futhi-ke izinto eziba khona, sisho siba nekheli elilodwa elihambisana nosuku oluphelele olibhala ngesiZulu. Isibingelelo esikhombisa ubuhlobo, singabhala igama lakhe ngoba siyamazi umuntu esimbhalelayo ngoba incwadi yobungani. Bese-ke sibe nomzimba, isingeniso esifishane esikhombisa ukuthi niyazana naye. Mhlambe ngingaxoxa nje ngokuthi nani nenzani ngaze nigcine ukubonana. Mhlawumbe ngabonga ngesipho ayikuphe sona noma nanijabulela amaholidi nisendaweni thizeni, ungabhala nje ngalokho. Ubese-ke umzimba sesilandela umyalelo ukuthi uthini. Uma ukuthi umyalelo ukuthi bhala incwadi yobungane ucele imali yokufunda esikoleni. Ucela umzali wakho usuzobhalela kusho ukuthi ngibhala le ncwadi ngoba usuyanaba incwadi yakho uzokusiza ngani imali emzimbeni wakho. Esiphethweni sithi siyakhonza, siyakhumbula ukuthi ngoba incwadi yobungane siyazana, khonza-ke mhlawumbe komalume nakomalumekazi noma kubani abantu abaziyo, bese-ke siyavalelisa. Isivaleliso yimina indodakazi yakho noma indodana ngizobhalela umzali. Ngizobhala ugogo yimina umzukulu wakho igama kuphela usibhala isibongo ngoba niyazana. So-ke kuba yinto enjalo-ke sibone ukuthi-ke uma sibhaliwe iba kanjani. Lesi isibonelo sencwadi ethathe Department of Education. So nalikheli usuku olubhalwe ngokugcwele, igama lakhe njengoba sikubonisiwe impendulo enhle ngoba siyamazi into esimbhalelayo, isingeniso, isigaba esifishane esibonisa ukuthi niyazana noma ninobuhlobo, ungasho ukuthi nagcina nenza nibonana. Emzimbeni usuyaqala-ke manje-ke ulandela umyalelo ukuthi wabhala ngani. Esiphethweni usuyaphetha bese-ke ethi yimina umngani wakho uSenzo. Kuphela nje ungabhali igama nesibongo asiyisayini. Iphela lana-ke incwadi yethu. So-ke ngojwayelekile ngibuza ukuthi ubani abanemibuzo noma abafuna ukucaciseleka then bazophakamisa-ke. Then-ke lesizulu lima kanjalo-ke. Ngiyabonga kakhulu, ngiyathemba ukuthi ngizonibona ngonyaka ezayo eklasini lami lesizulu.
Ngiyabonga umam Mbotshwa. Cela wamukele umam Sithole.
Ngiyanibingelela nonke bazali kanye nabafundi. Namhlanje ngizothanda ukunifundisa ngesikhangiso. Ngizocela nje ukuthi ngishare i-screen sami nani. Sizobona ukuthi isikhangiso siyini. Kodwa-ke kuqala ngizothanda ukuthi sibheke izinhloso zalesifundo sethu ukuthi zithini. So laphayana ku-number 1, ekupheleni kwalesifundo kuzomele siqonde ukuthi siyini isikhangiso. Kuzomele ukuthi sazi ukuthi siyini isikhangiso. And then number 2, noma okwesibili, kuzomele sazi ekugcineni kwalesifundo ukufunda izindlela ezahlukene zokukhangisa. So sizokwazi izindlela ezahlukahlukene zani zezikhangiso. Kumele futhi sazi ukuhlaziya ukuthi kungani abantu bekhangisa. Siphinde futhi sikwazi ukwenza isikhangiso esifanele. Okay, ngicela-ke siqale ngokuthi sichaze ukuthi siyini isikhangiso. Isikhangiso yindlela yokwazisa abantu ngenhloso yokuthengisa umkhiqizo, isevisi noma umcimbi. Isetshenziswa eziteshini ezahlukene ezifana namaphephandaba, umsakazo, iziteshi zethelevishini, izikhangiso eziku-inthanethi noma ezindaweni. Tshelwa ukuthi indlela yokwenzani yokwazisa noma indlela yoku-informa abantu about umkhiqizo noma i-product esuke ikhona noma mhlambe ngani nge-service esuke itholakala kuleyo nkampani, noma sisuke sibazisa ngani ngomcimbi osuke uzoba khona, mhlambe makuzoba nomshado noma mhlambe kuzoba nani namaphathi. And then-ke siyatshelwa-ke ukuthi ukukhangisa kusetshenziswa eziteshini ezahlukahlukene, okay, ezifana nani namaphephandaba okwama-newspaper, imisakazo, ama-radio, iziteshi zama-television okwama-TV, okay, kanye nani nezikhangiso ezikuphi eziku-inthanethi. Noma-ke ezindaweni zani zomphakathi. So siyayisibona-ke mangabe sihamba emphakathini ukuthi sithola ukuthi sithole amabhodi amakhulu abhaliwe mhlambe ekhangisa umkhiqizo onjani othile abasuke befuna siwuthenge. Okay, asambeni-ke siyobheka izindlela ezinjani ezahlukahlukene-ke manje zani zokukhangisa. So sinezindlela ezintathu namhlanje engithanda ukuthi sixoxe ngazo zani zokukhangisa. Number 1, ukukhangisa ngani ngomlomo. Abantu bakhuluma nabanye mayelana nani nemikhiqizo. So mangabe kukhangiswa ngomlomo ilapho khona abantu besuke benjani bexoxa noma besuke bekhuluma ngani ngomkhiqizo othile otholakalayo mhlambe kuleso sitolo esithize. And then okwesibili, ukukhangisa ngemibhalo. Siyayithola-ke izikhangiso ey'hlukene kuphi kumaphephandaba nakumablogi nakuphi nasezincwadini, okay, kuma-newspaper uke ubone mangabe mhlambe ufunda iphephandaba and then suhlangana nani nemikhiqizo mhlambe edayisayo kuphi esupermarket ethile, mhlambe ukudla noma into zokugcoba noma into zokugeza, okay. And then-ke uhlobo lwesithathu lokukhangisa, ukukhangisa ngani ngezithombe. Lezi zikhangiso-ke sizithola kuphi kwi-TV noma kumabonakude noma sizithola kuphi kwi-inthanethi. Uke ubone-ke mhlambe uthole ukuthi mhlambe uhleli nani nomakhalekhukhwini wakho uzibukela into ethile bese kuvela isikhangiso kuphi kumakhalekhukhwini wakho. So-ke lolo sithi uhlobo lwani lokukhangisa olunjani olunezithombe. And then-ke isikhangiso sibalulekile ekuthengiseni nasekwaziseni abantu. Ukwazi izindlela zokukhangisa kusiza ekudaleni isikhangiso eziphumelelayo. So-ke bayasho ukuthi ukukhangisa kunjani kubalulekile ngoba kwazisa abantu abaningi ngomkhiqizo osuke udayisa noma nge-service osuke unjani uyinikeza abantu. So-ke kuyashiwo ukuthi ukwazi izindlela ezahlukahlukene zani zokukhangisa kuyasisiza phela-ke ukuthi sikwazi ukuhlukanisa ukuthi sibone ukuthi okay lesi sikhangiso sinjani sivela kuphi kumabonakude, lesi sikhangiso isani esomlomo noma lesi sikhangiso sinjani singesezithombe esitholakala kuphi kwi-internet. So bekade ngifisa nje ukunifundisa ngalokho izinhlobonhlobo zani zokukhangisa ukuthi iziphi esinazo. So ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Ngiyabonga, ma'am. Okay, guys, so we've got Mrs. Astira next, and she teaches IP phase, and then after that we've got Mrs. Or Miss Yanai, who teaches the foundation phase, and then thereafter we will have a quick intercession. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so basically I do the life skills and creative arts from grade 4 to grade 9, which is IP and senior phase. Okay, so let's just dive into my lesson. Okay, so if I do a lesson, okay, generally we would start with what is the topic or the section we are doing. So here I've chosen to do food groups. Generally we would dive into the first question: why is eating healthy food important? So it's a general question. We all need to understand that eating healthy, the pros. Obviously, there's a lot of pros compared to cons with eating healthy. We know that our food provides us with nutrients. Our body needs nutrients to carry out its essential functions. Nutrients that foods have, generally all foods have nutrients like vitamins, minerals, proteins, healthy fats, carbohydrates. Foods also have unhealthy fats. Take, for example, chocolates, chips, etc. So we need to know that certain foods have certain things that our bodies need, and too much of it or too little of it is going to hamper our ability to grow, to repair our body, or to give us energy. So here I would just give a general note as to what is going on with the food that we eat. Then moving on to the food pyramid. So I'm sure we all have heard of the food pyramid. The food pyramid actually helps us to understand what kinds of foods we eat on a daily basis and the amounts that we should actually eat. So here I've included some pictures of what grains are. These are also referred to as our carbohydrates, our vegetables, fruits. These are our vitamins and minerals, our milk, cheese, dairy, meat, fish, and any other alternates, which would be our proteins, and our oil, salt, and sugar, which would be our fats and oils. As I said before, the fats and oils are essential for our body. Then I would go on to just a quick explanation. What is the food pyramid, the purpose of the food pyramid, so we know that the food pyramid helps us to see what kinds of foods we eat and as well as every day to stay healthy and strong. What is the purpose of the food pyramid? So lots of us don't understand what is the purpose of it, but we need to look at it and we need to know the amounts we are eating in order to understand it. So the food pyramid actually shows us which foods are good to eat, like fruits and vegetables, which foods we should eat sometimes, like sweets, fats, etc. Obviously, we all have those moments where we need to indulge in something. To make a balanced meal so our bodies get all the energy and nutrients they need, as well as helping us to make smart choices about food. So when I think of a meal, what am I going to think of? Or when I think of the first meal of the day, which is breakfast, I need to think what is healthy and what is not healthy. I need to understand what is good for my body, what is going to help grow. Okay. I also included a very short video. It will explain to you guys the food pyramid, exactly what I said. Sometimes kids are more drawn to a video, so I would include like a video here. Then here I've broken it down. So from the food pyramid, we've gone on to proteins. examples are given, which is our meat, which is, take for example, our lamb, our steak, etc. Eggs, fish, milk. So these are very good because they are high in protein. Okay. Protein is needed for our bodies to grow muscles and repair damaged tissues. So lots of people who do exercise on a daily basis, protein is definitely needed. Okay, carbohydrates, we know carbohydrates, our different types of breads, pastas, rice, potatoes. Why do we need carbohydrates? So the main reason we need carbohydrate is it provides our body with energy. Okay, yes, we can have an energy drink and that would give us energy for maybe an hour or so, but carbohydrates actually store in your body. Okay, and that energy is used for our daily activities and for our body function. Carbohydrates also contain starch. Then we go on to our fats and oils. As I said, fats and oils are very important. They are essential fats and oils for our body. Examples are oil that we use for cooking, butter, nuts, cheese. These are a few examples. But what is it needed for? We use fats and oils in our body to keep us warm as well as to store energy. So in our body, we do already have fats and oils stored. It actually helps us to keep warm. Obviously, if we go more than the required amount, it's going to just store in our body as excess fat. Then we go on to the most important part, which is our vitamins and minerals. Okay, examples are fruit, vegetables, eggs, cereals. What is the need for vitamins and minerals in our body? So vitamins and minerals actually support the body in using other nutrients effectively. So all nutrients work hand in hand in our body. We don't see this happening, but it is actually happening in our body. They maintain good health overall. Remember, vitamins and minerals are also used to build a strong immune system, which we know our immune system is used to fight off infections. Examples of vitamins: vitamin C, which is found in citrus fruit. It ensures our blood vessels, bones, skin, and cartilage remain healthy. Fiber is very important in our body. Examples are beans, pulses, vegetables, oats. Fiber generally is used in our digestive system. It's used to transport food through our intestines and out our body. The correct proportion of dietary fiber helps reduce the risk of heart disease, bowel cancer, as well as diabetes and obesity. Fiber is very important because kids nowadays don't have enough fiber, or they feel it tastes ugly, or they just don't want it. But it actually helps with the digestive system. Us adults also it's a requirement. Okay, and then just a caption: healthy food, healthy mood. Generally, the healthier you are, the better your mood is, the better your digestive system. Everything goes accordingly. So just be a general lesson on how the food groups work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. And now we've got Miss Yanai. She is going to quickly be doing the foundation phase demo lesson. And then after that, we will have a 15-minute intercession, right? And then we will be meeting our principal, Mrs. Yolandi Geldenhuys, right? Thank you, Miss Yanai. Let's go.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Lee. I am Miss Yanai. I am the foundation phase teacher. And today I want to talk to everyone a little bit about place value. So I'm just going to take off my background because I'm going to work with some flashcards. Okay, place value helps us read numbers, build numbers, and compare numbers and understand how big or small they really are. It is one of the foundations of math, and once you understand it, so many other skills become easier and more fun. Now, sometimes numbers look the same, but they don't mean the same. For example, the 1 in the number 21 is not the same as the number 1 in the number 12. Okay. Why is that? Okay, anyone have an answer?
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question?
The numbers in 12, the 1 in 12 and the 1 in 21 is not the same. Why is that? Yes, excellent, Angela. It's because they have a different place value. Today we will explore a little bit more about that. Okay, so a digit, just a quick refresher, a digit is any number between 1 to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Can anyone please give me 2 random digits in the chat, or you can raise your hand? Three and 4. Thank you so much, Mr. Rienes. So the number 3 and 4, if we put the number 3 first, the number 3 is in the tens place and the 4 is in the ones place. This number is 34. All right. So what is the value of the 3 in this number? Yes, Tashmika?
Okay, so the value of 3 would be 3 tens.
3 tens, all 30. Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, if we switch this around and we put the 4 first, and the number then becomes 43, right? The 3 now stands for what? In the number 34, it was 3, oops. It was 3 tens. Now we switched it around. Now it is in the ones place. So what is the value of the 3 now? Just a regular old 3. Okay, so the 4 is now a 40, and it's not just 4 ones anymore. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to give you guys a few numbers, and I would like to have some hands or comments in the chat. When we look at the number 26, right? What is our tens in this number? I see the chat has been full this whole time. The 2 in 26 is not a 2, it is a 20. Thank you so much, Ansune and Dixon, well done. And the 6 is our units. Excellent, thank you so, so much. So just to conclude, today we learned that the place of a value, sorry, I'm super nervous. Today we learned that the place of a digit changes its value. The tens place tell us how many groups of tens. So in our number, the tens place told us that the 2 is 20 and not just a regular old 2. And the ones place tell us how many single ones. So for 26, it was 6 single ones. Thank you so, so much. Numbers are like little puzzles, and the place value is the clue that helps us understand them. Great job today, everyone. You are all place value superstars.
Perfect. Thank you so much, ma'am. Right, guys, we will be moving into an intercession. We will see you guys at 12:15 for meeting the principal, and then moving into our question and answer series for each phase. Teachers who have joined us this morning so far, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful little intercession, guys. We will see you now at 12:15.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome back, parents. I hope you had a chance to quickly stretch your legs and grab a quick refreshment. Now that you've had a glimpse into who we are and how we conduct our lessons, that you've had a chance to meet the team behind Campus of Things, I'd love to introduce you to someone who truly represents the heart of Campus of Things. She's a leader who believes deeply in connection, support, and creating a space where every learner feels seen and valued. She's the person who ensures our school isn't just academically strong, but emotionally grounded too. Please join me in welcoming Yolandi Geldenhuys, the head of our school.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Dash. Yeah, it's always easy to stand in front of 1,000 kids, but if you have to stand in front of 3 parents, it's always difficult, eh? So yeah, thank you so much. Firstly, to my team, each and every teacher being here, Liesel, Dash, Mika, a job well done so far. And I must just say, like, everyone looks amazing. So thank you so much. Just a little bit of background about me. I'm Yolandi Geldenhuys, 37 years old, proud mom of 2. I've been in the education for 14 years plus. I have been a teacher myself. I used to teach life orientation in brick and mortar school, then moved to the online world, also taught Afrikaans before I became the principal at Campus of Things. I am the principal of Campus of Things now. 1st of November, it was the 3rd year going in. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, a little bit about how I feel. My goal is simple. I want to make sure that each and every student feels that they are seen, that they are supported, that they're encouraged, and I want them to meet their full potential. I mean, sometimes it's difficult for a learner to adapt in a brick and mortar school, and that's where the online school makes him feel that he's part of a bigger team, that he's got purpose in life. And I really want to empower the learners, and I want my teachers to empower the learners to make sure that we inspire them and that we also create a sense of belonging. We also want the families to know that they are valued and that they are partners in our journey. And then also I am a strong believer of an open door policy. I really want to build a relationship with the parent and the learner, each and every parent and learner in Campus of Things. I want to build a relationship with. So after joining Campus of Things and your child moves away in grade 12, I want to form relationships that would last a lifetime. Popping a message here saying, yes, I've done this, or my child has actually met this, or, you know, it's amazing to build these relationships and also make sure that you make a difference in a child's life. I really hope that every learner that joins us here not leave with only knowledge, but I want them to leave with confidence, and I want them to leave with kindness, and that they know that they can learn for the whole life ahead of them. That's short and sweet from me. I am going to stay here for the Q&A sessions of all phases, and if you would like to get any answers from me as well, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yolandi, for that wonderful message and introducing yourself to the parents and letting them know who you are. We would now like to move into our question and answer phase of the open day. We are going to do it per phase, so please feel free to either pop your questions in the chat box or raise your hands and ask questions. I'm going to now hand over to Mrs. Petronella in IP phase.
But first, we do have an icebreaker with Miss Ansune. So I just want to see Miss Ansune. There we go. Okay, Miss Ansune, I think you are muted.
Oh, hi. Hi, guys. So my big speech was just for myself. Okay, so we're going to guess the country. There will be popping pictures on the screen. So if you know the country, shout it out quickly because we're going to quickly go through it. Yeah. So if you know the answer, quickly shout out the answer. Right, here's number 1.
Japan.
Japan, yes, you are correct. Right, number 2.
China.
China, very good. Right, the next one.
Spain.
Ah, Spain, you are correct. Right, the next one.
Chile.
Let's see. Chile. Right, the next one. Come on, what's this one?
Poland.
Let's see. Yes, Poland. Right, the next one.
Turkey.
Turkey, yes.
Belgium.
Belgium, you are correct.
Cuba.
Ah, Cuba. You are correct.
Singapore.
Oh, yes, Singapore.
That's
The
just
next
on a
one.
roll.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Iran.
Iran.
Iran,
Iran.
yes. Iran, yes. And that is the last one.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Then just our next thing is going to be our questions and answers. So we are going to start with Mrs. Butin. She's starting with the foundation phase questions. Ma'am, there we go.
There we go. Good morning, everyone. Apologies, where I am, it's like 50 degrees and everything's overheating, so I can't switch on my camera. It doesn't allow me to switch on my camera as it's overheating.
If you guys have got any questions regarding the foundation phase, please can you pop them in the chat box for us, or also just ask out loud. Are there any foundation-based teachers that have any questions? Or foundation-based teachers that are new?
Parents.
Parents that have any questions? Okay,
That's me,
so
so are
Kat,
you
you are
busy
muted.
speaking?
Sorry. Okay, so just to confirm, foundation phase is any of the grades from grade R to grade 3. So
Grade
if you've
3.
got a little one that you are keen for them to join with us and you have any questions about how our lessons are conducted, how we engage with them, please feel free to let us know so we can help you understand a little bit better.
how many students in a class?
No. Normally we have a very, very small classes, and at this moment we have like 1 grade R student, 4 grade 1 students, 4 grade 2 students, and 2 grade 3 students. And so because classes are so small, it also gives us time to know each learner so personally that we know exactly what they need when they need it. And this helps us to cater to individual learning styles and not the normal one size fits all. So no, we do not have 121 students. We have very, very small classes. I hope that answers.
And one-on-one time with the learners is also one of the things about foundation phase that I think we can attest to. Definitely, because they are so small, we can't have so many kids in online. Any other questions for foundation phase? Okay, Thank you very much. Then I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Petronella for the intermediate phase question. So intermediate phase is any parents who've got learners from grades 4 to 6. This is now your time. The floor is open for you.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone, to all the parents and teachers. I do teach the intermediate phase, specifically grades 4 to 6, and the subjects English and social science. And then, are there any questions that you have related to intermediate phase? I think I'll wait for the time.
Here are some frequently asked questions, because I do know that there is quite a few things that intermediate phase parents are worried about.
Yes, because first of all, we do most of the questions would be if learners have a timetable. Yes, learners do have a consistent daily timetable that they need to follow, and then with live lessons every day. And then in a case when a teacher would be absent, they would be doing an offline lesson. However, teacher would have communicated with them a day before with extra work that is given. And then the second questions that is normally frequently asked would be, how much time do learners spend online each day? We normally begin school at 7:30 and it ends at 2 o'clock. Well, it's not back-to-back classes. There are some breaks in between where learners can relax and catch up with some work that they have to do. And then another question is, how do learners balance academic learning with creative or active activities? There are some subjects that learners do that keeps them active, but we also try to make lessons more interactive, fun for the learners as well, to keep them active at all times with the languages as well, so that they don't get bored or find the lessons daunting and all that. And the last question that is normally frequently asked is, how are learners supported if they struggle in a class? Well, when learners struggle in a class, they can, there is a support zone on the portal where additional work is normally provided. And then if they don't find, if they need more clarity, they can contact the teacher within the available time slots, where the teacher can either schedule an individual meeting with them or just see how they can explain to the learners better. And then, which country are you in? Well, we are in South Africa.
Okay, so we are in South Africa. The school is following the CAPS curriculum, which is the South African curriculum that is what it is. Let's say you are in Malaysia, which is a 6-hour difference. Unfortunately, we don't, our times are the times that we have. However, we do record every single lesson. So let's say you are 6 ahead, then you would be able to watch the videos from the day. If you are 6 behind, you would be watching the videos from the previous day, because we do record all of our lessons. However, it is important to notice that, or take note that if the children are writing assessments, they are invigilated during their assessment times. The assessments are set up on the schedule of the South African time. So, and it would be during school hours on a South African time. Yeah, so I mean, if they're going to then have assessments, they might have to then write it at night. We have had learners who are, I mean, we've got a learner in China, we've got a learner in Japan, we had a learner in America, and I think we've got 2 in the UK. Hey, Tash?
In the UK and Saudi as well. So we've got learners that are all over the world, basically. I think also it's just important to, if you are going to enroll your kids with us, we can definitely also help to make accommodations for them, as long as you communicate with us up front and let us know beforehand. So we can't obviously change the daily schedule of the timetables, but like Liesel said, they can actually catch up with the recorded lessons. And if there's anything that they need to ask their teachers or whatever, you can just pop it into a mail or a WhatsApp, and then the teacher will respond within office hours. But yeah, if you communicate everything to us, then obviously we'll be able to sort of accommodate you one way or the other. So just keep us informed.
Okay, and then we can move into the senior phase questions. Senior phase is grades 7 through 9.
Hi everyone, I'm Snell. If you have any questions for me, please ask them. I will answer them to the best of my abilities.
Okay. Any questions? I'm just going to quickly go check in the chat box. Do you keep track of whether the kids attend classes or not?
Yes, we do. We have an attendance register, and attendance is compulsory. But again, if you contact us, explain your situations, there is here and there where we make exceptions. So you're going to start the first class starts at 8 in the morning, and we run to about 2:30, 3 o'clock. That is when the learners should be available for classes and any other extra queries that we might have for them. So I'm just reading in the chat. I'm not sure the IP phase, is there only 4 grade 4 learners?
No, it's not the same for every phase.
Yeah,
In
no,
grade
it's
4
not.
we have 10.
Sorry, we only open up a foundation phase beginning of this year, Dash.
Yes,
so the
that's
foundation phase is still very, very small. It's 1, 2, 3. It's less than 5 in a class. We will have a little bit more going on to next year. 4, 5, 6 is a little bit bigger, but also still small. The bigger classes starts from grade 7, 8, and 9, and then obviously 10, 11, and 12. I'm proud to say that our grade 12 class is so big that we had to split them. But as soon as we get to at least 50 kids in a class, the classes will also be split. So the higher your kid or the higher the grade, the bigger the classes, and the smaller grades are still very small. And then also the timetable runs from 8 o'clock in the morning. Teachers start 7:30. The timetable runs from 8 o'clock in this morning. And the grade 1s and grade R's, the grade R 1, 2, and 3, they stop, I think, at 12:30. And then the grade 2, 3, 4s, and 5s, they stop a little bit later. The matrics only stop 10 to 3. So after 10 to 3, there's no classes. Also, like Petronella said, in between, in the timetable, it's not a back-to-back timetable. So the learners will have time inside of their timetable in the day to practice the homework that's been given or to do extra work that has been given by the teachers. Sorry, Shanae. It's just easier to say like everything in once.
It's fine. So timetables work. Exam times. We have an app, an Invigilator app, which every child has access to. They write the exams via the Invigilator app. The Invigilator app is connected to our portal, and also the learners join Teams meeting just for extra precautionary for us to make sure everything goes exactly the way it should be. And exams is scheduled during class, during the day, during the school time.
Okay, so there's another question here. Please take me through the exam time. How does that work? And how do you, okay, so you've done that one. Is it compulsory to attend classes, or can a learner have textbooks and pre-recorded lessons?
So normally, yeah, it is compulsory for all learners to join classes. But again, if you come to us and explain your situation, we might have a solution for you. But every situation is different from every learner and parent that's coming to our school. So we first want to hear you out, and then we will decide. But overall, yes, it's compulsory to attend your classes. Ms. Yolandi?
Sorry, I also just want to step in here. It's understandable that not everyone can attend all the live classes, okay? The same with the question is if there is a self-paced option, we would like the one-on-one with the child. So we don't want to just like open up everything and say, there's the textbook, please go study on yourself. Then we can't keep track of what's going on and where you're at. So we like the kids to be in class and have a one-on-one interaction with the teacher. So if the teacher, for instance, see that they are struggling with the place values, they can actually spend a little bit more time on the place values, making sure that the whole class is fine before they move on. If we allow the self-paced option, then the kids are going to run through the work and there's going to be gaps that we can't pick up. So even though, yes, there's all our lessons has been recorded, you will have access to it. We prefer that the child is in the class. Should you be like our child that's in China, we can make a private arrangement. We can have the recordings ready and you can catch up. It's not a problem. It's not ideal, but it's there. But then also you will have a one-on-one relationship with the teacher. So the onus will then be on you to check in with the teacher and to let your teacher know exactly where your child is struggling, so that you still keep that one-on-one relationship with the teacher. I think that's the biggest thing for us, as we want to make sure that the teacher and the child and the parent all is connected with one another, so that you can actually tell the teacher, please stop, we need to have a little bit more time on this specific topic.
Okay, then we've got Angela asking if she can please see an example of a grade 8 timetable. Does anyone have it on hand that they can maybe
I'm
just
sharing the whole
pop it?
school's timetable, but please, it's going to make you sick if you look at it this way.
There we go.
Lisa, I've got the color one. Let me share this one, and everyone can see everything. But yeah, it looks very hectic. Each grade has got his own color code, and you will see it runs from 8 o'clock in the morning up until to 10 to 3. And then there was another question, is there one teacher that's teaching all the subjects? So no, we've got subject specialists, so there's different teachers teaching different subjects.
And then there is also one more question. Should a learner be experiencing hardships with one of the subjects? When does the parent get to be notified? Now, we do try our best to inform the parents, but it's also important for the parents to be invested in their learners. That is why we also have a parent portal for the parents to be able to check up on their own children. We try our best. Obviously, if we see that there really is a problem, we will reach out to the parent, we will reach out to the student, and we will say, here's your intervention. This is where the support portal comes in. But we can only do as much as that. It then also needs, I'm trying to put it in a way that it's not like going to sound rude, but we do everything that we can, but we need the parents and the learners also to do their part to help themselves.
I also want to quickly just add to this as well, Liesel. So with every single learner that gets enrolled into Campus of Things, they get their own email address. So they get a full Microsoft license and they get their own email address. When there is specific information that needs to go out that parents need to be informed of, let's say, for example, exam timetables, tasks, assessment tasks that are for marks that need to be handed in by a specific date or whatever, they all get uploaded onto the learners portal, and then teachers also send out emails but CC the parents in. So it will go through to, for example, the grade 4 class. Parent will get CC'd in to be notified that, look, these are the things that are up and coming and things that you need to be aware of. But also we've got something called an intervention program, where our teachers, based on the work that's done in class, the child's participation, completion of activities and H5Ps and all of that, depending on where the problem areas are, our teachers can pinpoint in real time what the kids are struggling with, what they need a little bit more attention on, and then set up smaller group sessions with those kids. It's called intervention session. So for example, if a grade 4 class would be 15 learners in a class and 5 of them are struggling with a specific topic, the teacher will set up a session specifically for that topic to reiterate the content and help them along through it so that it's smaller and a little bit more individual attention, if that makes sense. So yes, there's tons of additional support, tons of resources that are available on the portal. And I must say our teachers are absolutely incredible with communication. Every single one of them have WhatsApp numbers and email addresses, which you get direct access to, so you are able as parents to continuously communicate with them and keep in check of how your child is doing.
Now, I want to add as well. I just want to say that our portal is set up in such a way, the parent portal and the children's portal, that parents can access it so easily, but everything is on there. So if you as a parent just log into the portal once a day, you can see exactly what classes has been missed, what has been done in classes, how far your child has been doing all the homework. You can actually track each and every little thing on there. There's a little statistics page as well, where you can see that in the Afrikaans course, the teacher has been teaching 5 hours. The child only accessed the course for 30 minutes, which means you are not on the portal as long as we want you to. So the parents can actually track whatever they want to track on the portal. It's designed in such a way that you can follow exactly where your child's at. We also have, as Dash said, WhatsApp numbers. So every teacher, myself included, has got a live WhatsApp number where you can pop a message and say, listen, I don't understand this. Can you please help me with this? They also have emails. So if there's like an issue that you need to sort out, you can email the teacher as well. So it's always the one-on-one communication that you will have from our side.
You can actually see here, I'm on my parent portal with my little pretend child. Is it sharing?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Your little grade 10 child.
With my little pretend child. So yeah, I've got Dudley.
Grade 10 child, like little grade 10.
Oh, look at Dudley. Okay, so now Dudley, I can see, has not accessed the portal in 95 days and 4 hours. I can see he has got a grade of 46 for the course that he is taking. I can see, let's see if my grades overview will show anything. Okay, so there's the grades overview. Let's look at all the logs because it's quite hectic. I can see the last time he submitted anything was on the 20th of August. And it even gives me an exact breakdown of where he was, what has he done, has he sent anything, has he looked for anything, or whatever the case may be. I can even see when he logged out the last time. And that was on the 19th of August at 8:41:21 a.m. on the 19th of August.
Okay, so there's another question from Angela. Are there any Campus of Things get-togethers in person?
We do have Park Run, which is, you know, one of the things that it's an extramural that the kids do, and then we try to have the teachers go to Park Run and go and join there. Okay, so I think let me just move on a little bit to FET phase questions quickly. FET phase is grades 10 to 12, just before we run out of time. Let's have a look. That is with Ms. Ilushka Kearns and Mr. Francois van Zyl.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna try my best to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, so we've got a question in the chat box from Melanie. It says, do all learners have access to each subject's content for them to review in their own time, or is it only available during class times?
The learners have access to the content the entire time, but they do only have access to their classes. You are only going to have access to physical sciences if you are enrolled in the physical science class, but you will then have access to everything for the physical science class the entire time.
Okay, and then we've got another one from Duke. During classes, what proportion of time is spent explaining theory and what proportion is spent on activities?
That depends entirely on the subject. For instance, I teach physical sciences. So in physical sciences, we spend a lot of time on theory. The one day might be nothing but theory, and then the next day might be nothing but an activity to try and get all the theory we did previously into a place where everybody understands it. That's also why it's important to be in class, because if I can't do the activity with you and I can't see where you are struggling, which is of course also why the cameras are important, because if I can see your face go like this, then I know that you are struggling. That also helps us to work better and to reinforce that. It really depends completely on the subject. I can say the one day it's going to be a lot more theory, the next day it's going to be a lot more activity, but both obviously do get done. What else do we have here?
Okay, so there's one that says on average, how many lessons a day and how long do periods last? What is the gap between consecutive periods?
Well, the periods are 45 minutes. I believe it's about 5 or 6 a day, I think. That's about how many I have a day. So I'm assuming the kids have the same amount. They're about 45 minutes long, and there's a few minutes in between them. It's nice because there isn't a half an hour's walk from the one end of campus to the other end of campus. You can just click leave and then click join again. So the time between periods, it's not necessarily that long, but we don't also need it to be that long. There is periods in between where the students are not busy. And of course, we do also have break times. So there is ample time for the students throughout the day to also get a little bit of a rest. And the teachers as well, you know.
Perfect. So then there's a question from Vicky. Where can I find the term dates for 2026? If I can quickly just answer this for you. So we are fully CAPS aligned. We go according to the Department of Basic Education term dates. So we have 4 terms. We start at the same time, we end at the same time. So if you look on Google and you just search the calendar for 2026 for the school dates or terms or whatever, you should be able to find it. And then we've got another question here. Do we get textbooks online or do we get a list of them and buy them ourselves?
Can I somebody jump in and answer? It's just easier to explain. So when we started our Campus of Things, all the teachers had a textbook that you can buy, okay? Then a few of the parents complained that we bought textbooks, but they haven't been used because the teachers is building all the content on the portal. So we totally moved away from the textbooks and only relied on the teachers and what they build on the portal. So some of our kids feel that they actually just need that extra activities add on where they can actually spend time in their own time on the specific subject. So what we did for 2026, the teachers in the core subjects like maths and Afrikaans, where they know kids normally struggle and would like some extra activities, we made some textbook compulsory. So at the moment that you enroll, you will get the welcome pack and the list of compulsory textbooks will be in the welcome pack. You are more than welcome to buy them online, either the online version. Some kids actually want the physical book in front of them. So it states that it's compulsory, but all the teachers also went back and say, if you would like to buy an optional textbook, this is the textbook that we recommend. So you will definitely get a list of everything. And that said, what the teacher is building on the portal, it's more than sufficient enough. You don't have to go and say, I will need the textbook. It's just for the kids to practice a little bit more, to give them offline activities. There was a question, how many periods in a day? There's 8 periods in a day, but it doesn't say that learner is going to take all 8 subjects. So when they have an offline period, then it's either homework or they need to summarize and catch up and make sure that they understand all the work. So this is where the textbooks that's in compulsory is coming in handy. They can actually reinforce what they've already been doing. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much, Yolandi. And then there's another question: is all homework or project work assessed or graded? How do they contribute to a term or final grade for a class?
I think I'm going to answer that one. Good afternoon. I'm the HOD for FET. So in FET specifically, we are a little bit more, how can I say, structured. We fall under Sakai, and Sakai does keep a close eye on us. We have to follow their rules, their policies. So we have to provide the assessments, the formal assessments that they deem necessary in the program of assessment for a specific grade, a specific subject. So for example, in life science, because that's the subject that I teach, in term 1, we've got a practical and we've got a term test. That's the only 2 things that we can use for the term mark, because that is what Sakai dictates. I'm not sure. I think SP kind of works the same way because the learners are slowly phasing into FET anyway. But for the smaller ones, I can't answer. But in FET, no, homework does not contribute to any type of final grade or anything like that.
Perfect. Then is it compulsory for all learners to answer or share their opinions in class? And then by answer, they mean answering questions.
Well, again, that very much depends on the teacher's preference. Again, like I said, if your camera is off and this is what I'm looking at, I can't see your face. I don't know if you're struggling. I don't know how you're coming along. If you never answer a question, if you never participate, I have no way of really knowing what's going on until you get to the exam. And if you are struggling and you get to the exam's probably not going to go so well. So it is obviously encouraged and very beneficial to answer questions and participate. That is part of the educational process, and it does help us also gauge where problem areas are and where more work is needed. But obviously, I also can't go, you answer now. That's also not really fair or how it works. But it is very much encouraged, as much as is reasonable.
Okay, so we do need to move forward a little bit. We are going to move into admissions questions. However, if you do have any more questions regarding any of the subject related stuff, please feel free to send an email or please go and look on our website. We do have a frequently asked questions section on the website. Tashmik, I'm opening up the floor for you now for admissions related questions.
Liesel, sorry, I just want
sorry.
to quickly jump in. No, sorry, I just quickly want to jump in before we move on. So there's 2 things that we really want and that we encourage in class is cameras always needs to be on. For the teachers to be able to teach and know that the child is on the other side, it's difficult if your camera is off. So we would like the cameras to be on all the way. Yes, if the child is sick and you pop the teacher a message, we do understand, but we prefer all the cameras to be on. And then obviously when the teachers ask a question, then they would like to see where the class is at. So we encourage the kids to talk in class, but if they are shy and they don't want to talk, the chat box is there. And yes, they can chat to one another as well. Sometimes it actually gets too chatty and the teacher will always keep an eye on there. Should it become a problem, then the teacher has got the ability to block them, to stop talking in the chat. You know, one can say the teacher's hair is beautiful and everyone can jump in that conversation and not listen to the teacher. But also that said, we do have Blink that's opening up full in next year where they will have discussion groups. So they can join the forum there and they can actually start to study together and chat to one another and have a, you know, like almost like a WhatsApp group, but it's all online and the teacher will be able to monitor that as well. So that's all before Tash goes. Thanks, Tash.
Okay, so there's a question in the chat box that I'm going to quickly answer regarding exams. Do formal exams only happen during June and November? What about terms 1 and 3? And then do they all take place at a set time? Do classes carry on during exams? Okay, so with the main exams happen in term 2 and term 4. We do still have test weeks or like cycle tests in term 1 and term 3. This is dependent on the phase that your child is in. So for example, if they are intermediate phase, which is like the younger kids, they won't necessarily have a test for every single subject that they do. They might have an assessment that they do in class with the teacher's supervision, and then like 4 tests out of the 8 subjects that they do, if that makes sense. Whereas during exam time in terms 2 and 4, they will have full-on exam sessions. This is an example of the term 3 test timetable. So we space them out quite well, and just depending on the grades that your kids are in, yeah, that's how it would work. Okay, and then there was a question about the technology that your child needs to have. So we provide all digital resources via our learner portal that can be downloaded. So you can save them as a PDF on your device and download and print and all of that if need be. We provide a Microsoft license for your child. So for the whole year that they are with us, they will receive a Microsoft license. They will also get access to Canva for education, as well as access to the Invigilator app, and all of this is included in the cost for the admission fee. So you're not paying anything additional for any of the digital stuff that we provide. In terms of actual devices and hardware, every learner needs to have a laptop because we are a Microsoft-based school. So they need to have a laptop that enables Microsoft. We are strongly against Chromebooks as well as any Mac devices because they don't work very well with our systems. The laptop needs to be at least an Intel i3 processor and 8 gigs of RAM with a 20 megabytes per second internet speed. We also need you to have some sort of backup power supply in the event of a power outage or load shedding or whatever. This is not specifically for classes every single day, but rather for exams and tests, so that we don't have to continuously reschedule sessions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The printers are not necessary unless they are in the smaller grades. Because all of our exams and stuff are done online through Invigilator app. So they'll write out, they'll cam scan or scan it on Invigilator app and upload it back onto the system. But in terms of actually printing work and stuff like that, it's as and when you need it. How many different apps do learners have to juggle between? Example, classes, assessments, video recording, Invigilator, etc. Okay, so we've got 3 main apps that we use. The first one is our learner management system. This is the learners portal that they do work on every single day. So all of their classwork gets uploaded onto it, all of their assessments, all of their exams, everything gets uploaded onto the learner management system. Our classes happen on Microsoft Teams. So that's why we provide the Microsoft license, so they are able to join all of their lessons through Teams, and then it's directly linked to the portal. So all of the live lesson links will be on their learner management system. And then Invigilator app is also linked directly to Teams, and it is only used for exams and moderated assessments and stuff like that. So everything is linked. It's really only about 3 things that they need to download. Okay. Any other questions?
Dash, sorry, there's another one. Do you ever experience a case where kids aren't quick enough to type? So all our assessments, it's actually handwritten. So the child will access the Invigilator app. They will access everything on the portal. So on the screen, they will have the exam paper. And then they will sit and they will actually write the physical paper. So according to, say, it's the 60 minutes, the app, when the app opens, your 60 minutes start, and you will have until the end of the 60 minutes to write, scan, and upload. We also do have a few kids that's got concessions, which we allow them to have the 10 or the 15 minutes granted extra, but everything is handwritten. So if the child can't type, it's actually a good thing.
Elushka?
Sorry, I thought I could drop a file in the chat box, but I think because we're external people, we can't. Can I quickly just show an example of a program of assessment? If you don't mind, I'll be quick. I'll be very, very fast. I
Absolutely. And then
promise.
while you are going to quickly share your screen, I'll just answer this question. So do you require learners to be registered as homeschoolers with the Department of Education? So this is a little bit of a tricky one. Currently, as it stands, the Department of Basic Education does not have a framework for online learning. So from grade R up until grade 9, yes, to safeguard yourself, you do need to register them as a homeschooler. However, that registration does not affect our teaching them at all. So it's basically just to cover yourself to say, my child is not in traditional schooling. I'm choosing to keep them at home, but I have informed the Department of Basic Education. So this is from grade R up until grade 9. Once they get to grade 10, we do the registration for them with Sakai. So 10, 11, and 12 falls under FET phase. They get registered with Sakai. Sakai is one of the exam boards that fall under Umalusi. So when your child is doing the matric with us, they will obtain the National Senior Certificate that is issued by every school in South Africa that is registered under Umalusi. So there's no difference in qualification or certification or anything like that. And we are registered with all of the universities in South Africa, so your child will have no issues in terms of applying for university acceptance, etc.
Thank you. This is just a quick example of a program of assessment. You'll see that in grade 10 for the English home language, there is a formal task, or there are formal tasks every term. And so it's just like Tashmika explained earlier, term 2 and term 4 are examination terms, but there are assessments throughout the entire year.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ilushka. I'm just quickly going through the chat box to check if there's any other questions that I have not answered. Also, just to add on to what Yolandi was saying, the reason why we do the exams handwritten is when they go in for their matric finals, it is a handwritten exam. So we need them to make sure that they are continuously developing that motor skill. They are able to write fast enough, so that they are able to hand in after the time allocation, etc. Do we have any other questions? When learners write exams and tests, are there technical issues? Is there technical support to assist the learners if this had to happen? So I'm going to hand over to Liesl.
This is a question for me.
She is our tech team.
Okay, so our teachers are trained in the tech stuff. So if there is a situation, we always have a Teams meeting open that the learners can pop into. Like, let's say Invigilator app now decides that it wants to recalibrate. The child can't remember how to recalibrate. The teacher will guide them through that process. If something else were to happen, or if the teachers don't come right, then it gets escalated to me. Then I sit there and I help. I also have 2 other people on my team who help me with that. Invigilator app, like if there is an issue with Invigilator app, we always encourage the children to also let them know via their help desk immediately, because it's not a system that I have access to. If there's technical issues on our systems, I am responsible for fixing those situations. So for example, a child's they can't log in. They keep getting invalid login. They have to like try and get into something new, and so we've got to do training with them. That's where I come in. All of our teachers also are trained in onboarding the learners. So let's say you have joined our school, then you are actually, the first step is onboarding everybody onto the portal. We onboard how to use Teams. We onboard how to use the portal. And then the kids will move into going and doing or joining lessons itself.
Okay, perfect. So
Okay.
we have now reached our time allocation for today. So I am going to ask, I think every single parent here has my number. I know I have been speaking to quite a few of you. But also my number is my direct number is the main number that's on our website and on our Facebook page and Instagram page, etc. If you've got any more questions, then please feel free to pop me a WhatsApp. I can schedule private consultations with you to answer more questions, etc. And then, yeah, we are looking forward to having your learners join or your kids join us and be part of our team next year. So thank you so much for taking the time, and we truly appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much.
So when you enroll your child, the child will get a welcome pack 1 week before the school starts, and then from the first day. So the first week there's no physical school. As we are upgrading our portal, we will also do like onboarding with our current learners. So you will get information about the sessions, and then all kids will be onboarded by the Friday. And then only next week, Monday, the classes will start so that we can run through all the new kids and the current kids and get them on board before we start classes. So please don't stress that you will join late and you don't know what's going on or your child will not be onboarded in time. That will definitely happen. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you everyone for your time this morning. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks all. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Bye.
Thank you, Ella. I need to run. I'll chat to you on Monday.